Chapter 8. August. Depression. Tuesday, the 1st of August. Weight, 8 stone 12. Alcohol units, 3. Cigarettes, 40. Calories, 450. I don't want to eat. 5 a.m. I'm very depressed. My boyfriend is sleeping with a golden woman with long legs. My mother is sleeping with a Portuguese man. I want to ring Daniel, but Tom has stuck a piece of paper to my telephone which says, "Do not ring Daniel or you will regret it." I hate being alone in the middle of the night, smoking and crying. Oh God, what's wrong with me? Why does nothing ever work out? It's because I'm too fat. Shall I ring Tom again? No, I only rang him 45 minutes ago. After I found the woman on the roof, I didn't say anything to Daniel. I walked downstairs, got into my car and drove away. I went straight to Tom's. Tom gave me a large drink. When I got home, there were 3 messages from Daniel on my answer phone asking me to call him, but I didn't. Oh God, the birds have started singing. I have to go to work in 3.5 hours. I can't do it. Help! Help! I've had an idea. I'll ring Mum. 10 a.m. Mum was brilliant. "Darling," she said, "of course you haven't woken me. I'm just leaving for the TV studio. I can't believe you're acting this way over a stupid man. Forget about him. Go back to sleep. Go into work looking beautiful. Let everyone, including Daniel, see that you don't care about him. You'll be fine." "Oh, but Mum, I have to work with Daniel. Darling, that's the wrong way round. He has to work with you. Anyway, it's time you got out of that job. I'm going to get you a job in television." I'm just going to work. I'm wearing a lot of makeup and a smart suit. Thursday, the 3rd of August. Weight, 8 stone 11. Alcohol units, 0. Cigarettes, 25. Daniel kept sending me computer messages at work. We should talk. I didn't take any notice of them. But then, tonight, he came up to me outside the office as I was leaving. "Darling, please, we really need to talk." I foolishly went for a drink with him. He kept saying, "I feel so terrible. I really miss you." But when I said, "Oh, Daniel, I miss you too," he said, "The thing is, Suki and I—" "Suki?" I said. "What a strange name." "Oh, I can't explain. It's very special. I'm sorry, love," he said, taking out his credit card and trying to get the attention of the waiter. "But we're going to get married." Friday, the 4th of August. Negative thoughts, 600 every minute. Crying attacks, 12, but only in the toilets. Office, 3rd floor toilets. Why did I think it was a good idea to have an affair with my boss? I heard Daniel on the phone talking to Suki and arranging to meet her tonight. He said, "Not too bad, so far." I knew he was talking about me. Tuesday, the 8th of August. 9 stone. Alcohol units, 7. Cigarettes, 29. Calories, 5 million. Negative thoughts, 0. General thoughts, 0. I just called Jude. I told her about Daniel and she was very shocked. She said she would call Shazza and arrange for us all to meet at 9. Wednesday, the 9th of August. Weight, 9 stone 2. Alcohol units, 0, but I had so many last night. Cigarettes, 0. 8 a.m. I'm very happy after the night out with Jude and Shazza. We spent the evening talking about men and what emotional cowards they are. 9 a.m. Mum just rang. "Darling," she said, "guess what? Good Afternoon are looking for researchers. You know that TV news and current affairs programme? They're terribly good. I've spoken to Richard Finch, the editor, and told him all about you. He wants you to come in on Monday for a chat." Monday? Oh my God, that only gives me 5 days to learn about current affairs. Saturday the 12th of August. Weight, 9 stone 3. Alcohol units, 3. Very good. Cigarettes, 32. Very bad. Calories, 1,800. Number of articles about current affairs, 1.5. Minutes spent having imaginary conversations with Daniel, 120. Very good. Right. I am going to be very positive about everything. I am going to change my life. I am going to learn everything about current affairs and stop smoking completely. I am going to form a mature relationship with an adult man. 6:45 p.m. I was just starting to watch the 6 o'clock news to learn about current affairs when Mum came into my flat carrying bags. "Now, darling," she said, "I've brought you some smart suits of mine for Monday." I looked in the bags and saw something bright yellow. Mum," I began, but my mother's phone was ringing. "Ah, that will be Julio," she said, and started talking to him. "Put the suit on," she said to me. Now she has gone off to a party, leaving me dressed in a bright blue suit with a green blouse and lots of blue eyeshadow. "Don't be silly, darling," she said. "If you don't do something about your appearance, you'll never get a new job, never mind another boyfriend." Midnight. After she'd gone, I called Tom, who took me to a party. It was the party of a friend of his from art school. I met someone there called Gav. He was about 22. But then I saw Daniel, and I felt really upset again. I went into the toilets and started to cry. Tom was waiting outside. "Come and talk to Gav," he said. "He really likes you." But then he looked at my face and said, "Oh dear, I'll take you home." It's no good. When someone leaves you, you miss them very badly, and you feel that there's something wrong with you. They didn't want you, so you lose all your confidence. Sunday the 13th of August. I couldn't sleep last night, so I tried to read a magazine. There was a photo of Mark Darcy inside. It was in an article about London's 50 most eligible bachelors. The 50 richest unmarried men in London. Monday the 14th of August. I'm terrified about my interview with Good Afternoon. I've told Perpetua I have to go to the doctor's. Oh, the telephone is ringing. I can't believe it. It was Richard Finch's personal assistant. She had a South London accent and sounded very young. Richard Finch is away in Blackpool this morning, so the interview has been changed to Wednesday. Wednesday the 16th of August. I went to the interview. First I met Richard Finch's personal assistant, Patchouli. She was wearing cycle shorts and she had a nose ring. Several men were sitting round a table. Most of them were very young. But one of them was middle-aged with curly blonde hair. This was Richard Finch. He was talking to the young men excitedly. Suddenly, he looked at me. "You must be Bridget," he shouted. "Tell me, why do you want a job in television?" My mind went blank. I couldn't think what to say. I couldn't remember anything about politics or current affairs. I have to leave my job because I slept with my boss, I said. There was a silence. Then Richard Finch started to laugh, and all the young men started to laugh as well. "Bridget Jones," said Richard at last. "Welcome to Good Afternoon. Take a seat, my darling." Monday the 28th of August. I got a letter from Richard Finch offering me a job, I think. This is all it said. "Okay, my darling, you're on." Tuesday the 29th of August. Weight 9 stone 2. Alcohol units 0. Very good. Cigarettes 3. Good. Calories 1,456. 10:30 a.m. Office. I just called Patchouli. She said I must start in a week. I don't know anything about television, but I don't want to work with Daniel anymore. I had better go and tell him. 11:15 a.m. I can't believe this. Daniel stared at me white-faced. "You can't do this," he said. "Have you any idea how difficult the last few weeks have been for me?" Then Perpetua burst in. She must have been listening outside the door. "Daniel," she shouted, "how can you be so selfish? It was you who finished with Bridget, so let her go." I suddenly love Perpetua. Chapter 9. September. A new job. Monday the 4th of September. Weight 9 stone. Alcohol units 0. Cigarettes 27. Calories 15. Minutes spent having imaginary conversations with Daniel 145. Good, better. 8 a.m. Today is the first day at my new job. 8:30 a.m. Mum just rang. I thought she was going to wish me good luck. "Guess what, darling?" she began. "Elaine and Malcolm have invited you to their Ruby wedding party. They've been married for 40 years and they're having a party to celebrate." Who were Elaine and Malcolm? Oh yes, Mark Darcy's parents. "He told Elaine he thought you were very attractive," my mother said. "Really?" I said, feeling pleased. "Well, I'm sure that's what he meant anyway, darling." "What exactly did he say?" I asked. "He said you were very, well, bizarre." "But, Mother, bizarre means weird," I said. "Yes, but it's a lovely word, isn't it?" said my mother. "Anyway, you can ask him all about it at the wedding party." 9 p.m. I'm in bed, completely exhausted. Starting a new job is very tiring. There was a meeting at 9:30. I was late, but it wasn't my fault. I was stopped at the door of the TV studios by the security guards. I had to wait until Patchouli, Richard's assistant, came to get me. She arrived at last with 2 huge dogs. "They're Richard's," she said, dragging the dogs away. "Aren't they brilliant? I'll just take them out to the car." "Won't I be late for the meeting?" I asked, but Patchouli wasn't listening. So by the time I got into the office, the meeting had started. Everyone turned round and stared at me. It was really embarrassing. Saturday the 9th of September. Weight 8 stone 12. Alcohol units 4. Cigarettes 10. Calories 1,876. Minutes spent having imaginary conversations with Daniel 24. Excellent. 11:30 a.m. I was just preparing my breakfast when suddenly my mother burst into my flat. "Guess what, darling?" she said. "What?" I asked. "Malcolm and Elaine are having the Ruby wedding party at Mark's house. Mark's bought a big house in Holland Park, that very fashionable area. What are you going to wear?" "Are you going with Julio or Dad?" I asked. "Oh, darling, I don't know. Probably both of them," she said. "You can't do that." "But Daddy and I are still friends, darling. I'm just friends with Julio as well. Anyway, I'll tell Elaine you'd love to come, shall I? I must go. Bye!" Saturday the 23rd of September. Weight, 9 stone. Alcohol units, 0. Cigarettes, 0. Replies written to Mark Darcy's invitation, 14. But writing the replies has replaced the imaginary conversations with Daniel. 10 a.m. Right. I am going to reply to Mark Darcy's invitation and tell him I won't be able to go to his party. There is no reason for me to go. Anyway, I would miss my favourite TV programmes. Oh, the telephone is ringing. It was Dad. "Bridget, are you coming to the Darcy's party next Saturday?" he said. "Your mother and that Portuguese man will be there. I want to show them I don't care and I need you to support me. Please come." 11:30 a.m. I've replied to Mark Darcy. I've accepted his invitation. Tuesday the 26th of September. Weight, 8 stone 13. Alcohol units, 0. Cigarettes, 0. Calories, 1,256. Thoughts about Daniel, 0. Negative thoughts, 0. I'm getting on really well at Good Afternoon. I think I might have a special talent for popular TV programmes. Richard Finch has got an idea about fire stations. He wants me to go to a fire station in Lewisham in South London and interview the firemen. I have to go there tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm going to be on television. I am going to ring all my friends and tell them to watch the programme. I'm going to tell Mum straight away. Wednesday the 27th of September. Weight, 8 stone 11. I've lost weight because I'm so embarrassed. Alcohol units, 3. Cigarettes, 0. I wasn't allowed to smoke in the fire station. But then I had 12 within an hour. Calories, 1,584. 9 p.m. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I spent all day getting ready for the interviews at the fire station. Richard Finch had told me that when they started filming at 5 o'clock, I had to slide down the fireman's pole. The firemen use this pole when they are called out to an emergency. At 5 o'clock, I was ready at the top of the pole. Suddenly, I heard Richard's voice in my earpiece shouting, "Go, go, 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 go!" So I started to slide down the pole. Then he shouted again, "Newcastle, go, go, go! Bridget, wait in Lewisham. We'll film you in about 30 seconds. But it was too late. I was halfway down the pole. I started to try and pull myself back up. Then suddenly Richard shouted again, "Bridget, what are you doing? The camera's on you now. You're supposed to be sliding down the pole, not trying to climb up it. Go, go, go!" I smiled in a mad kind of way at the camera and dropped myself down. I landed at the feet of the fireman I was supposed to interview. "Lewisham, we've run out of time," shouted Richard in my ear. "Finish the interview, Bridget." "And now, back to the studio," I said. Thursday the 28th of September. Weight, 8 stone 12. Alcohol units, 2. Cigarettes, 11. Calories, 1,850. Job offers from fire stations and other TV stations, 0. Not really surprising. 11 a.m. Everyone is laughing at me. Everyone is saying, "And now, back to the studio!" They all think it's very funny. Patchouli came up to me. "That fireman pole idea was really brilliant," she said. "Now, back to the studio!" I'm so depressed. I thought I'd found something I was good at, but I'm no good at anything. Not men, not social skills, not work. Nothing. Chapter 10. October. A date with Darcy. Weight, 8 stone 11. Alcohol units, 0. Very good, especially for a party. 4 a.m. I've had a very surprising evening. Dad and I went to the Darcy's Ruby wedding party. I had a shock when we arrived. Mark Darcy's house is huge. It is painted white and it looks like a wedding cake. All the trees around were hung with red lights and shiny red hearts to celebrate the Ruby wedding. We went down a stairway lit by heart-shaped candles on each step. The stairs led down into a huge room leading onto the garden. The whole room was lit by candles. The waiters brought round large silver trays with champagne and delicious food. All the guests were happy and laughing. The only guests who were not happy were my mother and Una Alconbury. "What do you think of this party, Pam?" Una said to my mother. "I think it's very showy," said my mother. "The Darcys just want everyone to know how much money they have." I glanced round nervously. There, very near us, was Mark Darcy. He must have heard everything. I started to say something, but he walked away. It was time for dinner. The guests stood in a line, waiting to be shown to their seats. Mark Darcy was standing just in front of me. "Hi," I said. I was sorry about my mother's rudeness, and I wanted to make the situation better. Mark looked round, but then he looked away. "Hi," I said, in a louder voice. He turned round again. "Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I didn't see you," he said. "It's a great party," I said. "Thanks for inviting me." Mark stared at me for a moment. "Oh, I didn't invite you," he said. "My mother invited you." He turned round and went away. Then Natasha appeared, wearing a beautiful gold dress, and took his arm. All the guests had places at the table with their names on cards. I was sitting next to Geoffrey Alconbury. "So, how's my little Bridget?" said Uncle Geoffrey. "Una tells me you've broken up with your boyfriend. When are we going to get you married off?" After the meal, I decided to go and look at Elaine and Malcolm's Ruby wedding presents. I went into the room where the presents were on show. "What are you doing?" said a voice. It was Mark. I didn't know what to say. Perhaps he thought I was trying to steal the presents. "I'm just looking at the presents," I said. Just then, Natasha appeared in the doorway. "Oh, hi," she said when she saw me. "Aren't you wearing your bunny girl costume today?" She laughed. I went outside for some fresh air and a cigarette. It was a wonderful warm night. The moon and stars shone brightly. A young boy approached me. He was blonde and quite attractive. "Hi," said the boy. He lit a cigarette and came towards me. "I'm Simon. Would you like to dance? Out here in the garden. Just for a moment." "I don't know," I said. "Please," said Simon. "I've never danced with an older woman before." "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean—" He took my hand and we started dancing. Then a voice said, "That's enough now, Simon." It was Mark Darcy. "Go back inside." Simon walked off in an embarrassed way. "Bridget, will you dance with me?" asked Mark. "No," I said. Then I went on. "But I'm very glad you asked me to your party. It's fantastic. Thank you very much." Mark started walking around. He pushed his hands through his hair. "Bridget," he said. Have you read any good books lately?" I couldn't believe it. Mark Darcy was asking me about books again. It was the same question that he had asked me at Una Elkenbury's turkey lunch. "Mark," I said, "why don't you ask me something else?" "Well," he said, will you have dinner with me, Bridget?" I stopped and stared at him suspiciously. "Did my mum tell you to ask me that?" I said. "Or Una Elkenbury?" "No," he replied. "Please don't ask me if I've read any good books again," I said. He stared at me. "But Una Elkenbury told me you know a lot about books," he explained, "and that you have a very glamorous life with millions of men taking you out." "I heard about Daniel. I'm sorry." "Why don't you like him?" I asked. "He slept with my wife," replied Mark. "It was 2 weeks after our wedding." I stared at him in shock. Then a voice shouted from the house. "Mark!" It was Natasha. "Mark, what are you doing down there?" "You're so different from all the other girls I know," said Mark. "No other girl would wear a bunny tail or—" "Mark!" shouted Natasha again. "But you're going out with Natasha," I said. "I'm not anymore," he said. "Let's have dinner sometime, all right?" "Okay," I whispered. "Okay." I gave Mark my address and phone number, and we arranged to have dinner next Tuesday. Tuesday the 3rd of October. Weight 8 stone 12. Alcohol units 3. Very good. Cigarettes 21. Bad. 7:30 p.m. I am in a complete panic. Mark Darcy is coming round to pick me up in half an hour. I've just got home from work and I need to wash my hair. 7:50 p.m. Oh God, I still haven't washed my hair. I'll quickly get into the bath. 8 p.m. I'm drying my hair now with my hairdryer. I very much hope Mark Darcy is late because I'm still not ready. 8:05 p.m. My hair is almost dry now. I just have to put on my makeup. 8:15 p.m. He's still not here. 8:20 p.m. I'm almost ready now. Perhaps I'll change my dress. 8:30 p.m. This is weird. He's more than half an hour late. 9 p.m. I can't believe it. Mark Darcy has decided not to come. The rat! Thursday the 5th of October. Weight 8 stone 13. Bad. Chocolate bars 4. 11 a.m. I'm in the toilets at work. Richard Finch has given me a job to do. "Right, Bridget," he said. "It's the end of the Isabella Rossellini trial today. They're going to decide if she's innocent or guilty. Go down to the High Court and interview her." I had no idea what he was talking about. "You do know who Isabella Rossellini is, don't you?" said Richard. You do read the newspapers sometimes? Yes, of course, I said. I didn't want to say that I had never heard of Isabella Rossellini. I'm going to meet the camera crew at the law courts. I have to report on a story for television without knowing what it is about. 11:05 a.m. I just came out of the toilets and found Patchouli outside with Richard's dogs. Are you okay? She asked. You look a bit worried. No, I'm fine, I said. Are you sure? She stared at me for a moment. Listen, Richard didn't mean Isabella Rossellini. He's thinking of Elena Rossini, right? Oh, now I understand. Elena Rossini is a children's nanny. She's accused of murdering her employer, but she says she killed him because he tried to attack her. I grabbed a couple of newspapers and ran for a taxi. 3 p.m. I can't believe what just happened. I was outside the High Court with a crowd of reporters. We were waiting for the trial to end when I realised I needed some cigarettes. Do you think it's okay if I go to the shop on the corner? I asked the cameraman. Yes, he said. I'll come and get you if the trial ends and Eleanor comes out. I was just standing in the shop when a man came in. Can you give me a box of chocolates? He asked. I turned round. It was Mark Darcy. He was wearing the clothes lawyers wear in court. He just stared at me. Where were you last night? I asked. I'd like to ask you the same question, he replied coldly. Then the camera assistant rushed into the shop. Bridget, he shouted. We've missed the interview. Elena Rossini's come out and gone. Missed the interview? I said. Oh, God, I'll be sacked. I'll lose my job. Did the other reporters get interviews with her? Actually, nobody got interviews, said Mark Darcy. Didn't they? I said. But how do you know? Because I was the lawyer who was defending her, and I told her not to give any interviews, he said. Look, she's out there in my car. As I looked, Elena Rossini put her head out of the car window and shouted, Hurry up with my chocolates, Mark! So, where were you last night? Asked Mark Darcy. Waiting for you? I said. What? At 8:05? I rang on your doorbell 12 times. Yes, I was drying my hair. Do you have a big noisy hairdryer? Asked Mark suddenly. Yes, I said proudly. Why? Maybe you should get a quieter hairdryer or dry your hair earlier, he said, laughing. Come on, get your cameraman. I'll see what I can do for you. Oh, God, how embarrassing. I feel like such an idiot. 9 p.m. I'm so happy. Thanks to Mark, I was the only reporter to get an interview with Elena Rossini. My interview was broadcast on the Good Afternoon programme today. I recorded it, and I've watched it 5 times. Friday the 6th of October. Weight, 9 stone. Alcohol units, 6. Number of times I have checked to see if Mark Darcy has called, 21. Number of times I have watched video, 9. 9 p.m. Mum rang tonight to talk about the Darcy's Ruby wedding party. She kept saying how marvellous Mark Darcy was. I keep hoping Mark might ring me up and ask me for another date after what happened with the hairdryer. Maybe I should write him a note to say thank you for the interview and sorry about the hairdryer. Friday the 13th of October. Weight, 9 stone 3. Alcohol units, 0. Calories, 0. Oh, God, I'm so lonely. There's a whole weekend in front of me with no one to have fun with. But I don't care. I've got some nice food in my fridge.